start by introducing yourself.
Well, my name is Sandra Rusavage Hastings. I have lived in Windsor my entire life. My family has lived, my whole family, my grandparents lived here, and my parents. My father was a Windsor policeman, Julius Rusavage. My early years were spent on Palisado Avenue, and I attended the Hayden Station School from kindergarten through third grade. Instead of the bus picking me up, the teacher would pick me up. And it was a two-room classroom, and it was an experience. The teacher would pick me up and pick up another girl. I guess we weren't on the bus line, that's my guess. So that's how I happened to go to the Hayden Station School. I remember as kids, in the neighborhood, we would ride our bikes to the Hayden Station General Store to get candy. That was a big deal. We would hang out at the central garage, and that's where Delamere Woods is now. And the fellows that worked at the garage would, we would go over there to get Coca-Cola. They had the old-fashioned red Coke machine, and we would get out our Cokes and drink our Coca-Colas, and it was kind of, what we did as kids. Let me see. I attended all the schools in Windsor. I did Hayden Station, John Fitch, H. Sidney Hayden, then off to the high school. And when we went to the high school, that incorporated 7th grade at the time. It did not have Sage Park or anything.
Where was the Hayden Station School?
I'm sorry?
Where was the Hayden Station School?
Oh my goodness, you don't know. How shall I describe it? Okay, you're going towards Windsor Locks, okay? You're on Palisado Avenue. And you have the Ellsworth Homestead on the right-hand side. You have Mactown Road on the left-hand side. You just go a short distance up. They converted it into a house. It looks like a house today. It does not resemble the school at all, which is a shame. It had a brick face to it. What else can I tell you?
Do you remember any of the teachers' names from Hayden School?
From school? Well, I did. Well, the teacher that drove me to school, when we were at Hayden Station School, there were 2 classrooms. In one classroom, it was kindergarten, 1st and 2nd. One teacher, her name was Mrs. Holmes, and she was the teacher that picked me up in the morning. And then in the other room, they had 3rd and 4th grade. I did not do 4th grade there because they closed the school and I went to John Fitch.
Oh.
But I remember things like, if somebody got sick, the teacher would drive them home and just have the other teacher kind of check in on the kids. Kids were pretty well behaved back then. And I remember, that's the teacher that did drive me to school. I married somebody from Windsor, Bill Hastings. I worked on tobacco. Worked on Kendrick's tobacco when I was 14 and 15, which was an experience, and I was glad I did it. It was a very good experience. Of course, Windsor has changed over the years. We've seen the center of town change. I worked at the old town hall before it was demolished. I worked for the recreation director, and let's see, what else can I tell you?
Where was the town hall before the new one? Where was the old one?
There's a parking lot there now, and right next to the parking lot is the dentist and the bean.
Oh, across the street. Across the street from where it is now.
Wait a minute.
The town hall.
The town hall was on the corner. It was on the corner there. um, I'm pulling a blank. What's the name of that street? You have Windsor Federal on one corner, and on the next corner would have been the old town hall.
Elm Street.
Thank you. I should know that. I've lived here forever. Oh, I don't know what else. The only time I basically was away from Windsor is I went to the University of Yukon for 4 years, and then I grew my 3 children grew up here in town. My 3 children all went here to Ellsworth School. I have 4 grandchildren. They have also all gone to this school. We just never really seem to leave the area. So I guess that says something for Windsor. My husband's been raising tobacco, and so he's busy farming and still is farming. So I don't know, what else can I tell you of interest? I know you've talked with other people and you get teachers.
We've had a lot of the men who've spoken talked about growing up. There's like circle of friends.
Yeah.
And what they did when they were young.
Uh-huh.
Most of them, it was bicycling and fishing.
Well, yes, life was a lot simpler back then. It certainly was. We bicycled, and Palisado Avenue was busy back then because we didn't have I-91, so there were trucks. And I remember my mother would instruct me to walk up on the people's lawns to get to my friend's house. I was not allowed to walk on the side of the road. I had to walk up on the lawns to get to my friend's house. But I was at Palisado Avenue, I said, just for part of my childhood. The rest of it, I lived on Broad Street and would walk up the street, Capon Street, to get to the high school. Yeah, I think we just kind of hung around, hot, lazy summers. That's what we did. To say we hung out at a garage to have Coke shows you how basically uncomplicated life was back then. I don't know. Can you think of anything else you might want to know?
Are you still in touch with any of the friends that you had when you were young?
I'm sorry.
Are you still in touch with any of the friends that you
Oh, yes, definitely. I am. One of my friends settled in Windsor, and we've been friends since 4th grade. My other friend, that is the teacher that drove this friend and myself to school, I've been in touch with her since kindergarten. Her family did move to Windsor Locks when she was about in 4th or 5th grade, but I never lost touch. And and as a matter of fact, we have a class reunion coming up in about a week or 2. So I'm not sure what that is, 55th? Anyway, it's 60th. No, 60th. Holy mackerel. Our class was very close-knit. It was a class of 1961. It was a very close class. And my grandparents on Palisado Avenue had a farm stand. They raised all kinds of vegetables and what have you. And people from the center of town would come out to the farms, and they would, purchase the vegetables. And I don't know, I'm going to leave here and remember a whole bunch of things and wished I had told you. But as I said, I've been in Windsor forever. My husband's family has been here in Windsor forever. And he's pretty good at remembering a lot of stuff, although he didn't come from the Hayden Station area. He came from the center of town. But I don't know. That maybe sums it up.
Okay.
Now, I am going to try to get my uncle back here. He's almost 90, but he gets around okay. He lived on Palisado Avenue in the house he was born in until he sold it just a couple years ago, and he's at Delamere Woods. So hopefully I'll have him come over, and he probably has stories to tell you, the neighborhood kids. He was actually even in the circus fire. Yeah, he was in the circus fire and with some of the neighborhood kids when he was growing up. But, okay.
Thank you so much.